time is set in sand, not stone.
The possibilities are infinite.
Knowledge is powder. Wait, that's not right. Knowledge is chowder? Flounder? Oh, for goodness sake. Line.
Since Legion Remix is nearing its end, I thought it would be nice to make a video about the stuff you should do before it goes away completely. And if you're interested, go give me a follow on Twitch and also join my Discord server, where you'll get notified when I go live. The first thing I'd recommend you doing is completing all the zone achievements. What zone achievements? Well, these ones. Each zone has its own achievement, which requires you to complete 2 smaller achievements related to the zone. These zone achievements award pets and transmogs. Once Legion Remix goes away, these transmogs will go as well. But who knows? Maybe they'll end up in the trading post in the future. In which case, you'll save yourself some trader standard, which is also a win. All of the transmogs from these achievements are great, but in my opinion the one from Suramar achievement and the Broken Shore one are really worth doing. You can make some dope transmogs from these. Let's talk about raids next. With raids, there is much to talk about. Firstly, let's talk about the raid transmogs you can buy from a vendor right here. In Legion Remix, once you buy a transmog appearance of a certain set, you'll get the appearance of it from all difficulties. These sets cost 30,000 bronze each, which, if you want all of them, is a lot of bronze. If you don't have enough bronze for all of them, I'd recommend buying the sets of your most played classes. Next with raids is completing Argus on Mythic difficulty, which will grant you the Green Scythe transmog. While doing these raids, you get certain currencies from their final bosses depending on the difficulty. These currencies are used to buy the rare item of the raid, and each item costs 20 of its respective currency as well as 30,000 bronze. You get 1 for normal kill, 4 for heroic kill, and 10 for mythic boss kill, meaning you get the rare transmog in either 20, 5 or 2 days. Also worth mentioning that the raids in Legion Remix are on a daily, not a weekly lockout, so it's gonna be quick, and with Legion Remix being out for a while now, you can try joining mythic raids. Some people's characters are on steroids and can clear the whole raid by themselves. And speaking of mythic difficulty raids, completing the Trial of Valor on mythic difficulty without dying on different classes grants you the mythic raid appearance of the raid. There are 4 achievements, each related to the armor type, so once you complete the raid on a cloth wearer, for example, you'll unlock the mythic cloth appearance. And lastly, completing all Legion Remix raids on mythic difficulty grants you the Sargerai Commander's Lightbound transmog set. If you cannot get into a group, try making one yourself, it helps out a lot. Lastly, completing the final raid of the Legion Remix and Taurus on heroic difficulty will grant you a quest, which upon completion will grant you the mount Violet Spellwing. This is the OG ahead of the curve mount back from Legion. Then let's move to dungeons. With dungeons, you can also purchase the dungeon sets from a vendor really close to the raid apparel vendor, right here. There are also some achievements you can complete which are worth doing, such as completing the dungeons that were in Mythic Plus rotation in the previous seasons in retail on a plus 30 or higher. These dungeons include Halls of Valor, Neltharian's Lair, Court of Stars, Lower and Upper Karazhan, Blackroot Hold, and Darkheart Thicket. Completing them on a plus 30 or higher will grant you a teleport to the dungeon, and as with the mythic raids, some people's characters can clear these by themselves, so try and join one. Of course, your item level may be an issue to some people, so I would recommend being maximum, which is 740. Pause! This is actually not true, and the current maximum item level is 779. Also with the dungeons, there are other limited time achievements, such as completing any dungeon on a plus 15, which grants you the housing decor Fell Fountain. Completing a dungeon on a plus 30 will grant you the Sargerai Commander's Hellforged transmog set. Completing a dungeon on a +40 will grant you the title The Infernal, and completing a dungeon on a +50 will grant you the meta achievement Putting the Finite in Infinite. Up next, let's talk about ults. Leveling an ult in Legion Remix to max is insanely quick. I leveled up my Paladin to max in 4 hours, but I did the whole class campaign, so if you spam world quests, and so on, you might get there even faster. And speaking of Order Hall campaign, I highly recommend you doing it on Legion Remix, since you skip the most annoying part, the mission table quests. This is a great way to get the OG class mounts. Also, once you level up your character to max, you'll get a fell version of the class mount. These can also be bought from a vendor for 20,000 bronze each, right here. Also, once you reach level 80 for the first time, you'll get a quest, Shape a New Legend, which is the last quest you get from Eternus while leveling. After completing the quest, you'll get the Sargerai Commander's Fellscorn set. Then we have some heroic world tier related achievements. Most of these are just achievements, but one of them awards a great transmog. By completing the heroic Broken Isles World Quest 4 achievement, which requires you to complete 100 world quests while in the heroic world tier, you will be awarded the Sargerai Commander's Void Scarred transmog set. This, in my opinion, is the best looking out of the 4. Then there are the Power of the Obelisks 4, which requires you to activate 100 obelisks in Heroic World tier, Legion Slayer 5, which requires you to defeat 500 empowered enemies in Heroic World tier, You Were Not Prepared, which requires you to die in Heroic World tier, and Building a Heroic Army, which requires you to finish the Withered Army training with a score of 200 or higher in Heroic World tier. Then, don't forget to spend your bronze. Let's talk about toys, pets, and mounts, which can be purchased from this vendor right here. These are the toys, pets, and mounts that come from raids, rares, Legion assaults, or other scenarios. There is also a vendor that sells some special transmogs, right here. And the last thing I'd recommend doing is raising the Legion reputations to Exalted, since in Legion Remix it's extremely easy. You get many reputation buffs from raids, quests, world quests, basically from anywhere. And well, that's pretty much it. Did I forget to mention anything? If so, let me know in the comments. Some of these achievements involve the help of other people if your character is not strong enough, so maybe if you have some geared friends, ask them for help. Or in case you lack friends in WoW, you could make a group yourself and pray for people to join in. That's also an option. And speaking of commenting, answer this question of the day. Which of the 4 Sargerai Commander sets do you like the most? For me, I prefer the purple one because, well, purple equals win. What about you? Let me know in the comments. As always, thank you so much for watching the video, like it if you liked it, and make sure to recuperate the subscribe button and bell button as well. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Later!